I don't really know how to start this video, but I am completely shook over episode 29 from You and Idol PreCure, which is the topic of today's video. Hello everyone, it's Leo. You're on Magical Cinnamon. Let's talk about her. Let's talk about Metatron. Let us talk about the sacrifice. This episode already starts in a very ominous way. Cure Kiss is in an event from Idol PreCure and Zukun Kiss. And while they're all there having fun, the fans are all happy with their Kiraki lights. By the way, look at my Cure Kiss Kiraki light. Girl, this is so black. It's so beautiful. But when it lights up, it's a little weird. But they're all there. But Cure Kiss isn't really showing much emotions. She's just looking, and there is inside of her, metaphorically speaking, the lock. And there's a lot of Kira stored. And she's there, stoic, just looking. A little girl, a fan of Cure Kiss. She's so cute. She's all in blue. And she was very shy, but Cure Kiss encourages her. And she asks if Idol PreCure and Zukun Kiss get along well. They all answer that they're very good friends. Apart from Cure Kiss, who says nothing. They take pictures. The event is a success. But then after the event is over, Cure Kiss just gets Cure Zukun and says, let's go. You know you're my friend. And we are the only friends. I'm no friends with anyone else, and they just leave. And then at Cafe Glitter, the Idol PreCure are a little confused as to what happened, while Metatron is not letting Purirun speak. And that scene is so funny because Purirun is such a simple girl. I love it. Purirun has one brain cell. And that scene was everything. You know, Metatron feeding Purirun the octopus sausage. Oh my god. Purirun was trying to speak and Metatron was not letting Purirun speak. But then the girls, they want to be friends with Metatron, and they all go up and they start talking to her, saying that they want to be friends. And this is the first time they say it clearly with all of the words. Metatron, I want to be friends with you. All three of them. Uta sings a little bit. She starts by saying she wants to be friends with Metatron. The other ones all join in by saying they want to be friends with Metatron as well. Metatron, she is holding back. We can see she's holding back. She's blushing. She wants to be friends with them too. And then Purirun joins in. She jumps in and she joins in by saying, Metatron, we are all friends. We're all a team. We're all a group of friends. And Metatron says that Purirun doesn't know anything and she just flies away. At this point, I just want to say that my interpretation up until now was, Purirun, you don't understand anything. What Metatron meant by that in my previous interpretation was, I want my relationship with Purirun to be different, to be more special than other friendships and other relationships. And so Purirun does not understand that. I am pissed with Purirun. Now, the meaning is completely different. It is not that. It is different. And we're going to get there. And so Metatron flies off and they all get together to try and understand what's going on. We even see Tanakan jumping in too as Tanakan, not as Tanaka. And they start talking. And Purirun says absurd things like, oh, I ate all the octopus sausages. I'm pretty sure that's why she was mad. Purirun, girl, you're awful. And they all try to come up with ideas. And I don't remember if it was Uta or if it was Kokoro who said that Metatron only wants to be friends with Purirun. And that's the only thing that matters to her. And Nana, with her head down, speaking to herself, says, is that really the case? She is the one who questions this idea. She was the only one who was able to see something else in Metatron, but she didn't say much. I feel like Nana is the type of person who respects the space of the other people a lot, and that's what she did with Metatron in this episode, and throughout the whole series, basically. And then Purirun mentions that she's been to the library with Maruran whenever she goes somewhere. She's always in the library. And Purirun has never gone there again because she can't. She's very loud and she was playing with the books. She can't do that. And so they know that's where they can meet her. But Uta, Kokoro, and Purirun, they decide to wait for Maruran. And Nana decides to take charge, take action, and go there. This is very on brand for Nana as a character for two reasons. The first one, she's very attentive. She's always paying attention to her surroundings. Second reason, one of the motives of Nana's character is taking the first step. She used to be the type of person who would never take the first step, and now she is someone who takes the first step in things. And so she took the first step to go after Maruran. She was the first step. No one else took charge like she did. And then when they went to the library, she met Maruran, and Maruran was searching for a specific book. She couldn't find it. Nana helped her. Maruran tried to play it cool and say, I never asked for your help. But she was actually glad that Nana helped her get the book. And they were able to find a book called Ribbon no Kizuna, which means the bond of ribbons. And so both Maruran and Nana, they start reading. Nana starts reading other things. And Maruran is reading this specific book about ribbons, about bonds. Oh, by the way, when Purirun was playing with the books, there was a big book by the side that had a piano in the cover. I thought it was an interesting nod to Nana's character. And so Maruran is reading the book, but she cannot understand bonds. She cannot understand it, even while she's reading. But then it is Nana's turn to take another step. Nana shares a story. And this story is about a little girl who played the piano since she was very young. And this little girl had a very hard time making friends with other children. Being able to interact with other children was something that was very hard for her. What happened was she met someone different who helped her a lot with a simple spell by giving her courage. Ultimately, this little spell was the wink. And the wink gave her courage to talk to other children, to try and open up to other people and start making friends. Overall, the lesson from this that this little girl learned is sometimes you cannot do things by yourself. In those moments, it is great to have friends with you. Those friends help you take the first step. Having people with you help you take the first step. That is the lesson she told Maruran. And Maruran understood the lesson. And the lesson was over with a win-win wink. I loved it so much. But before we move on to talk more about this very intriguing episode, let's check this very intriguing idol group in today's Idol Corner. In this episode of Idol Corner, I present to you Sion. Sion is an idol group that mixes vocal performance with orchestral instrumentals. Their name is an anagram for core, impression, and on. Even though Sion was formed in 2016, only recently, in April 2025, they had their major debut under Avex. This means that now they have a big record company behind them and more promotion for their music and idol activities. Sion really stands out because of the great vocals and musical performances from their members, using instruments like sax, trumpet, and piano, creating a refreshing and unique sound. Sion's song recommendations are Last Order, Now or Never, Impact, Shimashou. Now I'm back with Winx Kiriki Lights 2. So both Kiriki Lights of this episode, which were very relevant for today. And so by learning this lesson, Maruron was able to sense something else inside of her. She was afraid of making friends, and she had reason to be. But now she is at least able to make new friends. The only friend she was ever able to make was Purirun, but now she has the courage to take the first step. And at this point, we have Chokirine reading or trying to get a book that says something like how to not make your employees quit. That is very on brand for what she's going through right now. And she then captures the Kirakira from the book woman from the library, and the Koreyaminda appears, and we have a very shocking moment. Nana and Maruron were by themselves, and we have Maruron transforming into Kirakiss by herself. I was shocked. Truly shocked. This is, I think, the first time that we have a duo in PreCure that could only transform together, transforming by themselves. And we have even a solo transformation. That was very cool, by the way. I mean, okay, lots of same shots, but still very cool. And I believe it is because Maruron finally had the realization. She is able to have other friends apart from Purirun. She is able to open up to people. She is also able to take the first step by having other friends, other people helping her, just like Nana did in this episode. What Uta did to Nana, Nana did to Maruron. And Maruron, I think, this is just a theory of mine, I think that this was the reason why Maruron was able to transform into Kirakiss by herself. She was shocked, and you could say, well, they already appeared by themselves transforming in that CureTube episode. It's different. We don't know how they transformed in that episode. They could transform together and one of them de-transform. But if that was the case, if they transformed solo in that episode, Kirakiss would not be shocked by her solo transformation in today's episode. But still, the fighting scene was cool. We had some cool shots from Kiss, and the way Kiss was drawn in the battle scene was perfect. It was incredible. Oh my god. And so we didn't have much combat, but it was very cool. We have Cure Wink protecting her with the barrier. Oh my god, it was everything, but still very short. And then the others arrive. We have I did forget to mention that we had Cure Wink's solo transformation. That was surprising to me as well. I thought that the girls were going to arrive and we were going to see the trio transforming together. Not the case. And then we had Cure Zukyun's solo transformation too. I mean, for Purirun, I don't think that was ever a question. I don't even think that there was something that crossed her mind before. And so she could transform by herself. Kirakiss was also surprised. And they started battling together. It was the moment in which Purirun was able to finally say everything to Maruron. Kyurizukun told everything to Kirakiss. That she is thankful for their friendship, that they are going to be friends forever. They're going to be strong and they're going to be together forever. There is no reason for her to be afraid of losing her. She's never going to lose her. We're going to be together forever. Girl, I was shook. And with that, Awakening Harmony was used and the monster was defeated. Everything was fine. The book was taken by Nana, and Maruron was going to read the book. At that point, Maruron has made a decision. I want to be friends with them. And I am going to say it. I'm going to take the first step and say it. I'm going to come to them and say that I want to be friends. And then the shock. The lock has activated. Maderon cannot have friends. That is what she sacrificed when she became Kirkis. That was Maderon's secret. That's what she was battling. And because she finally came to the realization that she wants to have friends, that she wants to be friends with Uta, Nana, and Kokoro, the lock has activated. And it has captured Maderon. Purirun gave it her all to save her, but she couldn't. Maderon was trapped inside a black urn. Her ribbons are now stone, just like Purirun was when she sacrificed something. And that's the end of today's episode. So let us talk. Let us talk. First of all, Maderon had a friend, Purirun. She's always been Purirun's friend. But based on what we know now, it is clear that Maderon wanted to have more friends. She didn't want her world to be only Purirun. That's what her world has been up until the point she became Kirkis. She wanted to open up. She wanted to have more friends. But she had to sacrifice something to become Kirkis. What did she sacrifice? The possibility of having friends other than Purirun. That for her is the most important thing. Before she became Kirkis, Maderon arrived having Purirun and being very possessive over Purirun. But she was slowly opening up to the girls. She was rooting for the girls as well. But then after she became Kirkis, she had a reset. She was not rooting for the girls anymore with the Kirikilites. She kept her distance. She was even more rude than she was before. She was trying to control Purirun even more than before. Why is that? It's because she knew. She sacrificed this that was the most important thing for her. She couldn't have more friends other than Purirun. So Purirun was her whole world. Also, she was keeping Purirun, she was holding Purirun back before Purirun had her memories back because she did not believe that a miracle could break the power of the Heart Kirari lock. And also, because she knew that if Purirun ever met Uta again and the others, she would also have to live with them. She would also have to be close to them, but she couldn't be friends with them. Separating Zukyun Kiss was also a sense of preservation. It was also a sense of knowing that she would never be able to be friends with the others. There would be a very sad consequence if she ever became friends with them. Maderon now has another shape as a character to me. Other layers. And we can go back and look at her actions so far and how she's been holding back. She knows what she has sacrificed. It's different than Purirun, that her sacrifice made her lose her memory. It's different. And so, she has been holding back. She has been trying her best or her worst not to be friends with the girls. Even though that's what she wanted the most. She wants to have friends. That's probably what she's always wanted. And now we know. She's been holding back all this time. It's not because she wanted Purirun all to herself. It's not only because she is a tsundere. No, it's because she could not. Because she knew that a curse would come to her. The power of the Heart Kirari lock would come to her. And that's what happened. Maderon, when she finally came to that realization that she wanted, and she came to terms with that, the sacrifice was gone. She couldn't even have the feeling of wanting to have friends. And now she's captured. Oh my God. What a powerful story this is. I have no words. Honestly, I feel like this is a turn into Merodon's character that, as I said, I was not expecting, but I am so happy with this story. What an episode this was, my friends. I loved it. And I feel like next week it's going to be even more powerful. Everyone fighting to have Merodon back, and Merodon fighting as well inside the urn that she's in. By the way, the urn design kind of reminds me of the soul gems from Madoka. Kind of look alike, I feel like. Anyways, what an episode this was. I am in awe. Merodon, I am rooting for you. And I love you so much. Anyways, babies, this is it for now. I want to take this little time to thank the members of the Magical Cinnamon channel. If you're a member, thank you very, 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 very much for your support. And if you've watched up to now, thank you so much as well. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, bye-bye!